What's going on, Rebel family? Stepdaddy Boyce is at it again. Today's video, biological dads and stepdads forming friendships for the sake of the children. But before we get to the video, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel. So, let's jump over here to Twitter, right? And on Twitter, Dr. Boyce Watkins posted up a picture of a biological dad and a stepdad. And here's the tweet from Dr. Boyce Watkins, right? He says, what y'all think about the biological daddy and the stepdaddy taking a picture with the daughter like this? Okay? It's an honorable thing if you are in a situation to where you are no longer with the child's mother. She remarries or gets a boyfriend, and you and the brother can actually get along as opposed to fighting, right? We've seen lots of videos to where in situations like this, the brothers are fighting as opposed to having some type of decent relationship to where they're working together for the betterment of the child. So in that regard, this is an honorable thing that these two brothers can work together as opposed to fighting. The problem that I have is that, in our community, more often than not, that someone's always trying to make this as some form of it's more honorable to be a stepdad or be in this type of situation than it is for a biological father and mother to just parent the child together. And I guess that's what I have a problem with, because these types of situations typically get a lot of praise. They exhibit a lot of praise, right? Boyce wasn't the only one that shared this. I saw it in other places after this, but I want to jump down into the comments because that's kind of where I had some disagreement with here, right? And this is what I would take to be a black man. God is a black man, and he had an interesting comment, and he said 100% beautiful. Now I can agree with that. It is beautiful. He said this is exactly how it should be. Now I disagree with that because this isn't exactly how it should be. There's nothing more important to the black community than strong nuclear families. I agree with that. He said this is something that Professor Crunk don't think is important. Now I agree with him there. Dr. Brittany Cooper is who he's referring to. I did a YouTube short clowning some of the crazy things that she said, because she's actually against the nuclear black family where the black father plays any significant role in the life of the children. So that's what he's referring to. And I'm going to do another video on Brittany Crunk, or excuse me, Brittany Cooper. It just kind of exposes some of the things that she said that are just very detrimental to the black community, in my opinion. But here, let me go to the reply that I had here. And that reply, I stated to him, this isn't exactly how it should be. How it should be is the mother of the child married to the father and then raising the daughter together, because the daughter most likely lives with the mother. So that means the stepdad spends more time with the daughter. And that was the point that I was trying to make, that the stepdad actually gets to spend more time with the daughter than the biological father does once he's out of the house. And that's the problem, because that's a broken black family. It is a broken black family trying to make the best out of a bad situation. And then he goes on to talk about his particular situation. He said, I was a single parent with sole custody. Mothers were toxic, so forth and so on. Now he has a queen who stepped in, became the wife and the mother that was needed. And I was like, I wasn't talking about your specific situation. It appears that the biological dad isn't toxic like your baby moms. FYI, you should have married them before having children. You might have found out how toxic they were, right? Getting married isn't the be all end all, but it actually will give you some time to determine how bad or how toxic a person could be, because you're going through trials with it being married. Marriages can be tough. It can be tough. So the real person comes out, and you'll get a chance to determine exactly what they are made of, and if the relationship, can stand up to those tests, and the toxicity will come out at that point. So he says not deflecting it. there are too many children with one active black parent. See, there again, he's wrong again because there's two active black parents. The biological dad is in the child's life, so it ain't the same situation. So he's saying the situation is similar to single parent households. I don't even understand how this. I don't understand the thought process of some people. He said I should have done a lot of things when I was younger, but like other young black people, I didn't. I said it is deflecting because we were talking about a specific situation. Anything other than the original post. And my comment debunking yours is deflecting. So jump in the comments, go on Twitter, find Boyce and find this tweet, jump in there and let me know what you guys think. I'd love to know what you guys think about this as well. Also in the comments, please let me know if I was off, if I was wrong. I didn't think I was, but maybe I could have seen something different here. But that was the point I was trying to make here. So on the thumbnail, on the YouTube thumbnail that I have here, the two white dudes and the young white girl, these are two biological and stepdad who pretty much did a similar thing. And again, with the same thing with the opening video, to where there was a biological dad walking the bride down the aisle, and he invited the stepdad to come up. So I want to jump into their story. Their story went viral. The bride, the stepdad and the biological dad walking the bride down the aisle, that went viral. I mean, millions of things. And this story here, it got so much press. It was on the news, the Today Show, so many people praising this. And this is where I see a big problem here.
Texas family is touching hearts all over the world. Tonight we are bringing you the story of a father and a stepfather who have chosen love instead of hate.
And the men took pictures together before a daddy-daughter dance this weekend. Those adorable pictures and their message have gone viral. News 10's Rissa Shaw went to Hubbard to talk to the family. So Rissa, their story has been shared more than 100,000 times.
It has, Gordon. People from all walks of life, not just in Central Texas, but around the globe, resonate with Dylan and David's situation. Two fathers, one the biological dad, the other the soon-to-be stepdad of 5-year-old Willow Mengjian. Now tonight we're hearing from the men about how they made the choice to make this blended family work.
One relationship may have fallen.
We'll make it taller than you.
But like these blocks, another was built, and it's stronger than the first.
You have to be a team, no matter what.
This is Willow Mengjian. Even though David is her dad, she has another man in her life, the soon-to-be stepdad she calls Daddy Dylan.
When she started calling him Daddy, and it was a pill to swallow. But the longer I got to know him and the more I got to see his relationship with her and towards Sarah, I knew it wasn't a competition in any way, shape, or form. It was just another person who was here to support Willow.
When Sarah and
the mom was wrong, by the way, for having a daughter call another man daddy. It's disrespectful. And as the biological dad said, it was a tough pill to swallow. She shouldn't have done that. She should have corrected the daughter. They could come up with some other name, but you have one dad, and the respect should have been on him.
David divorced. They vowed to stay friends. That promise turned into a blended family that not only works, but that's become a shining example of choosing love over hate.
I personally had to put my feelings to the side and just be a parent. I think everybody can relate to that.
Whatever happened between us was in the past, and then we had to move forward with her, for her. That way, as she grows up, she sees love and respect.
David lives in New Mexico, but no hotel for him.
All right, Daddy, I'm ready.
So look at that. He lives in New Mexico. He doesn't get a chance to spend.
This week, he's sleeping on Dylan's couch.
There's no need for him.
He doesn't get a chance to spend all the time with the daughter. That's why these things are issues. It's a problem. The biological dad doesn't get to spend as much time with the daughter as the stepdad. That's a problem.
To go stay in a motel or in a hotel.
So that was the end of the video there. Okay, so there were stories that came out here, and these stories are some of the problems that I'm referring to. There's a story written by a woman that says, "Are you man enough to be a stepdad?" And this story is weird. It is written by a woman about a situation to where it involves a woman who is dealing with a man who has children. But it says, "Are you man enough to be a stepdad?" So that phrase has entered the lexicon of people to where even in this situation, this is clearly a woman who's dealing with a man who has children. And it says dating someone with kids is not for the faint of heart. It should have said, "Are you adult enough or woman enough?" Because the story is clearly about a woman dealing with a man with kids. But we use "Are you man enough to be a stepdad?" That shaming language has crept itself into the lexicon of society. It's always shamed men for you got to be man enough to be a stepdad. Only real men can be stepdads. Okay, and this is the woman here, right? Aaliyah King, and she was a Vibe editor, and this is the woman, right? You know, she had some of the black feminist vibes. But let me jump over here to this webpage. There's a whole webpage dedicated stepdadding.com. This webpage says it's dedicated to being a resource for stepdads on how to properly, be a stepdad. And the people in this on here. So this is the curator. He's the director, and then the founder here, Stacey James. Both of them, Joel Hallbaker. Both of them are stepdads. So they built this webpage out as a resource for stepdads. I don't think it's a resource because if we jump over here to this story here, this story says biological father explains stepdad's role, stepdad returns fire, right? And this says it's kind of a biological dad's talk, telling the stepdads, hey, you guys. He basically, I'm gonna jump to the chase here. You say stepdad is much more complex than being a bio dad. It's because we have to navigate through challenging sometimes emotional situations that grow from the wife's earlier relationships. This is a big load of rubbish, more complicated than being a biological dad. Yeah, if he's dead, very stupid thing to say. So then stepdads reply back, right? And this actually doesn't help the stepdad argument. It actually disproves, it actually speaks against the being a stepdad, right? Because if we look here, a few facts. 51% of stepdads report their parenting role isn't defined. Biological fathers rarely have this issue. So if your role isn't defined, why would you enter into that situation? The majority of stepdads have to learn to work with their wife's ex. Biological dads don't have to do this. They just parent, right? Well, biological dads may have to deal with the stepdad coming in, the new guy, right? It's safe to say all dads occasionally feel unsung, but more than 2/3 of stepdads report feeling unappreciated. Whether it's true or not, it's a terrible thing to feel unappreciated. So that's proving the point. If you feel unappreciated, okay? Then it says stepdads are an honorable group of men doing a difficult job, but you get no credit for something that you decided to take on, right? It says you stated that the biological dad's hands are tied behind his back. That's so foolish. And then he says, 1, fathers have legal rights. It says fathers have legal rights. Stepdads have no legal rights. 2, a stepdad can be denied visitation if he splits up with the wife. And then it says 3, it says even worse, in 20 U.S. states and Canada, he can also be compelled to pay child support. They're talking about the stepdad. This is speaking against why you should be one. If you can be compelled to pay child support for a child that isn't biologically yours, then why would you do it? All right. And like I said, I don't have anything against it. If you like it, I love it. But I'm pro nuclear family and the biological dads being in the life of the children more than any other male figure, right? I'm pro that. But like I said, if you have to make the best of a bad situation, then so be it. But you know, that's but that is what it is. If you have to make the best of a bad situation, right? So be it. I'm not more power to it, and more power to the people who have to do that. But here's another one: struggling with the biological father. Get the right attitude, right? There's all these articles, but some of the ones that I saw, that they actually spoke against why people shouldn't be by stepdads. So it isn't the resource that they think it is. It's actually more of a propaganda piece of why you shouldn't be one. And I thought that was hilarious. You know what I mean? So my final thoughts. My final thoughts are just that you have to vet women a lot better than what is being done in today's society, right? That you don't want to get in a situation where you have a child with the woman, and then you have to try to parent from the outside. You won't get a chance to spend as much time with the child, and then worse, some other man comes in and then gets to spend more time and have more influence on your child from a male standpoint. So it's not a good look. But is it better for brothers to work things out and try to get along and not fight? Obviously, yes. But the best thing is for the biological father and the biological mother to parent together. Those are my final thoughts. If you enjoy the content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, get into the comment section and let me know what you think. I want to hear your thoughts. I'll do my best to respond to every comment. Peace, Rebel family.